Increasing number of journalists facing persecution for doing their jobs. Two are being detained in Myanmar. Calls are mounting for their release. The United States is calling on the country to investigate human rights abuses. This as activists are urging for the release of the two journalists who helped expose abuses in Myanmar.
Threatened, attacked and killed, journalists are also being imprisoned in record numbers around the world.
Those journalists that are killed, that are murdered, are usually reporting on politics. They're uncovering corruption. They're upsetting the rich and the powerful. And then for that, they are eliminated. This affects every continent. It affects every region of the world.
Some of them are very respected professors, columnists, intellectuals of Turkey. And they are accused of being a terrorist. And the more tragic thing is the government is seeking for some of those journalists lifetime sentences.
The human rights of journalists were highlighted on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly. Addressing the United Nations on press freedom, human rights lawyer Amal Clooney said she asked Myanmar civil leader Aung San Suu Kyi to pardon the detained journalists. Clooney is a member of the legal team representing Reuters journalist Walon and Chaso U.
Under Article 204 of Myanmar's constitution, the president can grant a pardon at any time after a conviction. He does so following consultation with Myanmar's leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, who said on her first day in office that it was her priority to release prisoners of conscience. The journalists' families have already submitted a pardon request, and in previous cases, a pardon has been granted as soon as 4 days following a conviction. This case began with authorization from the government at the highest level, all the way up to the president's office, and the government can, if it wants to, end it today.
Convicted on September 3rd under the Colonial Era Official Secrets Act. They were sentenced to 7 years in prison. Myanmar's president is expected to make the decision on the pardon, but government said the court was independent and followed due process in the case. The reporters who pleaded not guilty were detained in December. Ndundu Sitole, SABC News, Johannesburg.